How's it going today, everyone? This is Sage, and we're back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch video. Over the NAWCQ weekend, we had a lot of really interesting movements happen in the secondary market, along with support being announced for a whole slew of different archetypes, including Fabled, Jurak, Battle Wasps, a weird one, right? And then also Mermail Atlantean, kind of a weird mashup that we had there. But I want to start with the Juraks. So this archetype, if you guys don't know, is all fire dinosaurs, and they kind of revolve around destroying monsters in battle or being destroyed by battle and special summoning other monsters from the deck, that sort of thing. They're like a battle phase kind of deck. And it's been really criminally underrated. In my opinion, this is one of the cooler archetypes. It's fire dinosaurs. What's not to love? Like, this is so cool. I'm really interested to see what the new support is going to add, because right now Juraks are kind of just all over the place. There's not really too much you can do with them, really. Guaiba's going to be your main guy. Then you have like Alo and Dino. Guaiba's really cool because he can special summon from deck once he destroys a monster by battle. Special summon one Jurak monster with 1700 or less attack from deck. Now, you can't attack with that monster, that's fine, it's whatever. You use this to go into, like, main phase 2 and synchro, or you can link, or even XYZ with these. But I'm really interested to see what route they go with the support for this. I would really love to see just other extra deck monsters for this archetype, because I think right now it's all synchros, and they're all like really old synchros. Like Meteor is really cool. I've always really loved the aesthetic of Meteor. But I feel like these guys could really use like a Xyz, just like a rank 4 Fire Dino Xyz. I think that could be really helpful, especially if it has like a cool effect to kind of tutor something out of deck. Right now, there's just a bunch of really mid Juraks, and I feel like it could use some help. As for Fabled, these guys have always been pretty cool too. They're all light fiends. And Lurie, I know. Lurie is 1, 2, 3. We scroll down a little bit. 4. Fabled Lurie is 4 of the top. What is this? 15 slots? That's insane. That just goes to show how much Fiendsmith is putting in right now in terms of work. Then you have Raijin, Cat Sith, Unicorn, Cerberus has always been one of my favorites. But this archetype could use a little something to kind of help him out. It's a really interesting kind of playstyle where it's all about like having the monsters discarded and them activating effects based on that. So I'm curious to see where the support goes for this, and if we get a quarter century rare Fabled Lurie, so these commons won't be worth $7 anymore. As for Battle Wasps, I wasn't in the game when these got, like, officially, launched. So I came in, and the only thing that these were being played in was, like, Bee Trooper. Because that's around when I started paying attention to actual competitive decks. I say competitive, but I mentioned Bee Trooper in the same sentence. But I don't really understand this archetype. I know they have these few synchro bosses. But Sting is going to be your main guy. When he's normal or special, to add one Battle Wasp monster from your deck to your hand, except for Sting. Quick effect, tribute one other insect, then target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. So it's an imperm. These have had significant quantities moving. If we scroll all the way back through, so here on the 20th, we had somebody buy 10 for 99 cents each on the 21st. That's kind of insane, but people have been picking up playsets of this stuff. I can't remember exactly what the new Battle Wasp stuff does, but as far as I remember, I think it was pretty mid. And for the Atlanteans, so the ultis have been moving. Neptibus is sitting around $4 or $5-ish a piece. Very low on quantities on both copies of Neptibus. Dragoon supers from the deck are, $3-4. The commons from OTS are still pretty plentiful, under $1. Marksman, the structure deck one being like $3. That's kind of funny. Pikemen, bring Pikemen back. Pikemen Supremacy. But yeah, kind of this expected movements with Neptibus and Dragoons. Heavy infantry is up there for the super. Kind of just what you'd expect from the Atlanteans. And then the Mermails in turn are also seeing some buyouts. If we look at the Abyssland, this is completely bought out, which is kind of insane. The last copy moved for $20, and that's wild. Somebody got a damaged unlim for $8.50 and decided that was a smart investment. That's kind of crazy. This has been a card that has always been really around the $10 plus mark, so it's no real shock that this got bought out, especially since this is a solo print, and it's a really good Mermail. Abyssius sitting over 100 listings on the Secret, and about 60 on the Ultra. Abyss Megalo, still plentiful listings here. Also, I know this is an ulti, I know it's a Mermail. He's not good. He's not good at all. Discard 4 other Mermail monsters to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. Okay, you're probably never gonna do that. When you do, target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Mermail monsters in your graveyard if possible. This card gains 500 attack, and if it does, destroy those targets, if any. You contribute 1 other face-up attack position Mermail monster. This card gains the following effect this turn. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a defense position monster, destroy that monster. It's just not good. I recommend not picking these up, really, because this is not used. If you're going to pick up the ultis, pick up your Abyssius, pick up your Abyssland, those, and your Abyss Gaios. Those are going to be your ultis you want to pick up, instead of this Abyss Balin down here. Ancient Gear! You guys saw the feature match. We all saw the feature match. Fortresses, these are still giga money. If you find any of these in bulk, you're winning. You're sitting on a lot of money. Lowest light plays, you're sitting about 18 plus $1 shipping. Near mint first is 20, 22 for unlims. Very, very good. This is a very, very likely candidate for a reprint. So if you do have the Ancient Gear Fortresses, and you are not currently playing them and winning prizing with them, offload them. They are worth $20 plus a piece. You do not want to be caught holding the structure deck commons when the OTS Super gets announced. Trust me, it's not going to be pretty when you lose a potential $60 plus for your playset. Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem ultis. This has always been a really interesting card to me. We do have the Light of Destruction reprint for EU and Australia and New Zealand. Now, I'm pretty sure that they maybe will try to import that into like retail in the States. I did see the Wave of Light structure decks at my local Walmart here like today. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do the same thing with Light of Destruction. Now, we reviewed in a previous video that there was no information on Light of Destruction or the Wave of Light reprints on any NA distributor, but they were on European and Australian-based distros. So I'm pretty sure they're going to do something similar with this. So we should get a reprint of this ulti, but don't count on it. You can get light plays for like 18 for unlims. That's not too awful. Megaton, where's Megaton at? So Chaos Ancient Gear, this is one that is a solo print out of Raging Tempest, and this saw a significant spike with the Ancient Gear support finally being released, and it's gone downhill since. We have had a few movements happen since the other day, so we can go back to the 19th, and we had a couple copies, and then on the 20th, somebody bought 7 at 450, 3 at 360, 3 at 373. It's just kind of cool. Gadgetron Dragon, this is one that I kind of want to get, this rare out of the 2010 World Championship pack, but I don't think it'll ever happen. I do have, which one do I have? I think I have the Structure Deck Ultra, which is kind of cool. But we go to original Megaton Golems, the super rare. These are just really expensive. 19 listings, sitting about $10, $11. If you have these from the Ancient Millennium Legendary Duelist, I'd recommend offloading them. This does have other prints. You can see we click here on the super, and it doesn't give you the all releases. It does have other prints. It has Ultras. I know, because I have like 9 of the blue letter ultra rares, and they're very, very cheap. Yeah, see, purple, $1. Green, $1. Here's that ultra Gadgetron Dragon. There's the blue, $1. So don't pay like $10 for the super when you can get the ultras for $1. The only difference is that they have the colored text, and honestly, that's not awful. Magical Hound is a really interesting one. So this was seen as a tech choice in the Ancient Gear deck. They were running it at 1. Mainly because if this card's in your hand or grave, target one face-up spell trap your opponent controls, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. You can only use the effect once per duel, but it gives you a level 1 tuner, and it's just kind of a neat card. This saw a little bit of tech play for Super Heavies, when, like, right before the Super Heavy Samurai deck was suspected to take over with the new support out of NAWCQ. And this was seeing, like, tech play in that deck. So with Super Heavies, you don't want to use, like, spells and traps. But this gives you spell trap removal without having to have a spell trap in your grave. So this was a pretty interesting card to see, you know, some sort of niche application in the past. And you can see people have came in and picked up quite a few copies of this. 34, 27, 32, 26. Like, people are very bullish on this card, and I don't really understand why. Especially when it was a one-of, and there are 250 listings. But, you know, if somebody else wants to hold on to the bulk, that's fine. Scissor Arms. Gotta love it when the deck gets all common support. Like, the field spell is common, the little soldiers is common, the new Xyz are super, just the whole new archetype support is all low rarity. So, of course, the older foils are going to go up in value. So, you can look at the Scissor Arms data over the last few days, and you can see somebody picked up playsets at $17 a copy and $20 a copy. Insanity. People were paying $20+ for this card, including a light play at 23, light play at 25. Holy heck. Actually insane. I think I sold 4 of these, which was pretty nice. Near Mint Unlim's sitting 20. You can get a Near Mint for 19. You didn't pick these up before the support got announced at like $1, or even during the fall down at like 2 to 3. These are money now. Check your number hunters bulk. Bisque Doll Supers. These also significantly shot up, again, because the support is all low rarity. The older foils are going to jump up, especially if they're needed for the deck, like Bisque and for Scissor Arms. So before the announcement of the support, this was like $1 easily. And then it shot up to about 6, and then it kind of settled down, and then, oh, Gimmick Puppet, it's all common. Buy your Bisque Dolls. Supers are like $13+ now. I guess you can pay 14. You can get a heavy play first for 12. Just don't even do that. Go over here. Get this common. It's 30 cents. Not a time to really worry about foil. Just get the common if you needed copies to play with. There are plenty of these available under 50 cents. Just don't even bother spending the money on the super. Also interesting development with the Gimmick Puppet stuff. C40, Dark Strings, Gold Secret is 5 listings. And let me actually refresh this because I think this might have changed. 6 listings. We got one more. Heck yeah. About $9 to $10 to $11. There's a Unlim Near Mint here at like 6-ish. So I guess if you really want it, you could get that. But these have seen a ton of sales here recently. About a couple a day. But this does have other prints, which is weird. Like, we go back. Gold Secret. Ultra. Okay, Ultra is $8.75 there. $8.95. $9. Market price is $2, but this is getting sales at 9s. Now, here's the other weird thing, okay? Low listings, 7 listings here. Why? Just get the ultra rare with the colored text. They are a quarter! Like, it really makes no sense to me. These are a quarter, but you have people that are gonna pay $9. $9 when they could just pay a quarter. Oh, you don't like the red text? That's fine, bud. We have the blue text. It's 10 cents. Just get the colored ultra rares. They are the same thing. They just have an ugly ass name. You can still play them. They're not going to give you a disease. Just pick these up. There's over 100 listings. Makes no sense. Embodiment of crime. So crime and punishment both saw buyouts over the weekend for Mimighoul. And now they're sitting like 18 bucks, which is insanity. These were bulk for the longest time. And let's go over and look at punishment. Yeah, 18 bucks. Insanity. Just, I never thought these cards would be worth anything. But there's a very niche potential use case for these. You can detach 1xyz material from this card. Change all monsters your opponent controls to face-up attack position. What's Mimighoul? Mimighoul is a flip archetype. I think most of the main deck guys, I think there's 3 of them in the Mimighoul archetype that are all level 1s. So theoretically, you could play Crime and Punishment. Will they see play? Only time will tell. I want to get into Diabell and the rest of the Snake Eyes engine. With the NAWCQ, we saw a very large success rate for Snake Eyes Fiendsmith. And that hasn't really correlated to many sales with Diabell or Wanted or Bonfire or any of these other cards, really. Like, you can see, yeah, copies are moving, but it's not like a significantly large difference than before. People who are competitive players are going to already have this, and the people who are not competitive players are going to try to sell this before it gets banned in a month. There's very high anticipation for Snake Eyes to be completely neutered with the list. So people are going to want to get their wins and get rid of this core before it tanks significantly. Diabell stars are sitting about $27 to $28. You can find several copies here available at that price point. And then we get over to Wanted. So Wanteds were about under 20. Yeah, about 20 bucks now. So I think I saw these as low as 17s and 18s. Like, actually making sales, which when this card was over $100, I would have never anticipated this card would get lower than 20 prior to a Megaton reprint, which is insane. Same thing with Poplar. When Poplar released, this is like a $40 to $50 card, and now Poplars are under $5. Just crazy how quickly ban list can affect how much people want a certain card. Along with Flamberge. So this guy, I think I sold my copies at around 12 around this first spike, because these were $2, surprisingly. And now they're sitting about $4.50 to $5-ish per copy. A lot of people are anticipating Flamberge to get banned just because this card is very, very good. Fiendsmith Engraver, I wanted to touch on this little guy. You guys might have seen a lot of play from him over the weekend. There's some copies here at $99.90. Shout out Chain Strike. You guys don't know, Chain is a Whatnot streamer also. Very, very chill dude. Love the guy. But yeah, this is $100 a copy per copy of Fiendsmith Engraver. It's kind of what people anticipated for this card. I was thinking this card would be more along the 60 to 80-ish range after the official release of Infinite Forbidden, with more copies hitting the market. Just because the $100 price point is very restrictive. Only the people that can, you know, shell out $300 for a playset of Engraver are going to be able to compete at the highest level. I mean, I guess. It will probably maintain the same price for a while, but as we saw with Wanted was also $120 a copy for a short while, and then it just started tanking as soon as the deck started seeing, you know, a ton of play, and people were anticipating ban list hits. So yeah, if you guys can find Engravers for pretty cheap, like 85%, get them at 85 bucks. That's not too awful, I guess, but just know that these will tank, and unless you're actually performing and winning prizing, it's not really worth it to go ahead and pick these up. There are decks that can play without the Fiendsmith engine. Mulch Army. Mulch Army's $60 now, the Perulia. If you guys did see Infinite Forbidden launch date on Friday, these were like 30 bucks. Like, literally, we go back a few days. Let's see how long it takes us to get back there. 30, 40 bucks here. We go back a little further. I say go back a little further. Here we're at about 35, 32, 30. And now we're all the way up to 60s and 70s, which is insane on this card. So this card did see kind of a lot of side deck play in the NAWCQ, which isn't really surprising given that this card is Maxi Light. It gives you some draw advantage. It puts some pressure on your opponent to not, you know, summon as many times as they probably would have. And it's just kind of a mid card. But the new Mulch Army, the Fuwa Ross, I think was the name of it, that card is going to be very good. And guess what? You can play both of these. And the third Mulch Army, whenever that gets revealed, you can play that too. Granted, it's going to take up a bunch of your slots, and it's probably not going to be optimal, but hey, the option is there. Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate Quarter Century. This thing has seen, you know, a significant spike in sales. It's sitting at about 7 listings. And if we go back, I don't know why, but there were a ton of sales over this weekend. 19th, 20th, 21st, just a ton of copies of this moving. And then if we look at the shield, this also saw a significant price spike. So it went from about $23 to $25, and now it's up to around $45. So if you guys did get your shields at 20 bucks, good call. We also want to touch on the Ultra, which was $1, $1.50, and now it's sitting at $4 to $5. Very good call. This is a card that's played at 3, because I think this is the one that searches, correct? While this card is a continuous spell, pay 2,000 life points to reveal an Ankh. Special summon this card, add 1 Millennium Ankh from deck to hand. Yes. I also want to touch on some of the other Millennium cards, including Sengenjin, which saw the same exact trend that Millennium Shield did. So it was $20, $22, and now it is $45. If you guys got these at 23, GG, you guys are winning. And guess what? The same thing happened with the Ultra. The Ultras are now sitting at one copy here at $6.80 plus $1 shipping. Otherwise, they're like $8 a piece. You can see Trading Card Elites has 70 copies. Gamer's Choice has 303. So these are moving. The people really like this Millennium archetype, and I feel like it's really, really interesting just to kind of see how this deck is going to play out in the future. So with the Ankh, the Quarter Century is like $30, and I feel like this has a lot of potential to spike also, the same as the Shield, the Sengenjin, the Exodia. So keep an eye on this. I feel like this might be a little bit too low, along with the Secret. So the Secret's at about $8, $8.50, and there are several quantities available at this price range. And then the one that I really want you guys to look at is the Field Spell, the Weju Temple. This card, I feel like this is very low for what this is. 16, 17 bucks for a Quarter Century Field Spell. Wait for it. The Ultra is under $1. If you guys have any intention on playing this deck, there's 24 copies here at $1. Wouldn't be the worst decision, I guess. We saw Sengenjin spike. We saw the Millennium Shield spike. We saw the Exodia, Quarter Century at least, go very low on listings. What's next? There's really only one choice, aside from the Ankh, and it's the Field Spell. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you guys are new. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you guys have seen any interesting market movements and what decks you guys are looking forward to play with this new Infinite Forbidden format. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. And we'll see you guys in the next one.